What is up? My dog's Lawson here. It is a beautiful but windy morning, just a nice calm 19 miles per hour blowing, and yesterday it was blowing like 25, 26 the whole entire day. So we are trying to tuck out of the wind here. We're gonna have a bit of a wade session. Today's video is sponsored by Catchco. If you don't know what Catchco is, they are a bait company that they make a ton of different baits, and I actually collaborate with them to make the salt native stuff, which we're going to throw a lot of today. Got a ton of bucktails and spoons. I'm hoping we can find either a pompano or a flounder, and if we do, we're going to bring them home for the cooking. I'll leave a link down below where you can pick up any of these baits that I'm using today, and seriously, highly recommend it. I help design all these baits, and helps me out a lot too if you guys go and pick them up. So if you want to, go hit the link down below. But anyhow, we're going to rig up. We're going to throw the waders on and see if we can get on some fish. Alrighty, here's the dealio. We're about ready to hop in. Took me a little longer than I normally like to get ready. I just haven't been wade fishing in a while, so I kind of had to get everything together. My advice to you, if you're trying to do a minimalist wade setup, is pack a small plastics bag. Like this is just an old lure bag that I packed full of all the things I want to bring with me on my wade, and then I'm just bringing one single rod that I can cast a long way, and it's meant for covering distance and throwing a light bait. Ooh, game time. Let's do this thing, boys. Starting off with a salt native bucktail jig right here. Got a little fish bite on the back side of it. I'm gonna check our drag, make sure we're light and dandy because I'm fishing 15-pound leader, 10-pound main line. Gonna finesse it up and hope to find a pompano. All right, I'll give you a breakdown real quick of the setup we're throwing. 15-pound fluoro, 1/4 ounce bucktail jig with a fish bite. This is a 7-Eleven custom made rod. I get a ton of questions about this rod. It's a Juno custom, like a Juno Baits custom. It's sold at a tackle shop. It is a 7-Eleven medium light. Really, really cool. You normally don't find rods this long that are this sensitive, and it's meant for pompano. If you can see, there's a little engraved pompano on there, but I think it's a perfect rod for super far casting and working light baits, which is exactly what wade fishing is really all about. So this allows me to throw super far, and I have 10-pound braid, so the line just flies off of this reel. If you're not aware of it, the lighter your line, the faster it's going to come off your spool and the further you're going to be able to cast. So that's the whole reason why I have such light line on here, is for casting distance. On here is a 2000 size Tsunami Evic. New reel to me. I've only had it for a couple months. So far it's working out really well. Drag seems solid. It's supposed to be a well sealed reel. Wasn't super expensive, but this is like my setup for flinging baits super far, and I have loved it so far. Ton of pilchards flicking around here, and I think a spoon might be perfect to throw at the moment. So I'm gonna pie in a spoon really quick. We're 100% gonna come back to this because, you know, I could catch a flounder, pompano on a spoon, but that's way more likely that I catch one on one of these things. But it could be fun to whip a golden spoon around for a while before the sun comes up here. There's a good fish. That feels like a flounder, kinda. I don't know. It's not fighting super hard. But right at the back end of that cast, I twisted maybe 3 or 4 times, just bouncing it real slow at the bottom. It's kind of coming right at me. It's got me confused. What are we dealing with here? Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Flounder, flatty. Nice flatty. We're gonna keep him under. He looks like he might be legal. I'm gonna try to walk him up the shore and just keep him pinned like that so we don't lose him. Trying to wrangle him here in the water. It's a nice flounder. We'll have to see if he's legal. He looks like he might make it, man. They gotta be 15. He looks like he's probably about 17. stay your head down, brother. Oh, I'm stoked. That's what we're looking for. We'll get him right up to the bank here. If this was like anything else other than a flounder, I probably wouldn't walk it, but I've lost so many dang flounders wade fishing trying to land them because they just have such a weird little narrow mouth and they come and flap up like a pancake on the surface. Just a great way to lose a fish. So we're gonna just walk home doggy up to the bank. Right when he hit, I was like, that feels like a floundiggity. Feels like a floundiggity. He's gonna keep. Oh, that's not even need to measure that guy. And like I said, right there, he just popped off. A big flat one, bright and squirrely in the morning, friends. That's what we're talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You have no idea how stoked I am on that right now. Floundiggity. Ooh, come on. First real bite of the whole day, too. We're gonna go throw them in the cooler. I'll bleed them out. First, I'm gonna dispatch of them, and then we'll bleed them out. Alrighty, we have dispatched of our big old flounder here. First thing I did was grab a knife to the top of his head just to kind of kill him and put him out, and then remove his gill plates here to kind of stop blood from fleshing into his meat. And it's just good to take care of your fish properly. So remove the gills. First, put them out of their misery properly. Don't try to start cutting open a fish while it's still flopping around, because it's just gonna make more stress and actually make the meat probably taste a little worse. So like taking care of your fish is like the most important thing ever, man. Don't just kill a fish, flop it on the floor, like gill it, kill it, then gill it. You know what I mean? So we're gonna throw him in the cooler, and I think we're gonna hop back in the water because I want to fish longer, and it's only like 8:30 in the morning, and finally is like first good fish, so I'd like to keep throwing. We are back in action. I very, very uncleverly took the knife that I gilled that flounder with and rubbed it against my waders, and so now I have a big giant blood splotch on my waders. Would not recommend doing that, because what a great way for a shark to come out and bite you right in the thigh. But we're gonna go out, fish a little bit, and see if we can maybe whack one more flounder. Maybe we'll find that pompano we're looking for. Who knows? It's too early to call it quits. Like, I can't just whack the big floundy and then we're gonna head home and cook them, but we're gonna do. But I need to at least make a few more casts while we're here. Flounder is so interesting, man. They remind me a lot of like triple tail in the sense where you really never know what they're gonna do. Like that one just kind of doormatted his way all the way in, where he just felt like a heavy weight and just kind of flapped around, where it's like I've hooked them and they've taken off screaming line, and I've hooked them, they've come to the surface and they thrash their head like a trout does. It's really cool. And triple tail are the same way, where they hook, they could dive to the bottom like a grouper, they could take to the air like a snook and a tarpon, or they might just try to run out some drag on you. And it's cool catching a fish like that. And my god, our flounder good eats. I'm very excited. I actually haven't eaten a flounder in probably I don't even know, like 7 years maybe. It's been a long time. I'm really excited to go home and I'll cook a nice lunch for me and my wife with that flounder, and it'll be amazing. Oh, I don't even know if I showed you what that flounder fell victim to. The old salt native bucktail jig with the little fish bites trailed on the end, just like that, man. And I was just slow bouncing that doggy. Flounder sit right flat on the bottom. That's why they're so weird looking. So if you're fishing for flounder, you need to be near the bottom, and that's exactly what we're doing here. And I'm just kind of doing like a little double tap, like a boom boom, but that's it, boom boom. And this could look like a crab, this could look like a shrimp, this could look like a little bait fish. That's kind of the beauty of a bucktail jig in particular, is that it kind of looks like everything. So it works out, especially in some dirty water like this. It works good. And then that little fish bite on the end just adds some scent to it, and they really are able to just hone in on that. Well, nothing else seems to be wanting to nibble on our jig. Shouldn't say that. I've got 1 or 2 bites, but nothing's really connecting. So I think we are gonna go pack it up, go start cooking our flounder, and just enjoy this morning for what it was. Just a nice little flounder harvest and not get too greedy. So let's walk back to the house, walk back to the truck. Then we'll drive back to the house and we'll get cooking. Alright, we are back home at the house. It's a very windy, but honestly a really nice day. Oh my gosh. So I think we are gonna cook our flounder right out here in the backyard and pour ourselves a glass of Michter's and enjoy the cooking process. I got some potatoes roasting inside, and I went and prepared some ingredients when I got home. Really basic seasonings here because I made a flavored butter, and this thing is so packed full of flavor that we're not gonna need to really over season our flounder, and that's what I like. So we're gonna just do this on a single burner, and I got the taters going inside in the oven, and we're gonna fillet our fish up and just get going. Flounder pounder. It has been a while since I filleted a flounder, so I'm not gonna give you a lot of advice here, and I'm sure there's lots of videos on it, but we're gonna fillet daddy up and just take our time and make the most out of all this beautiful meat we have, because if you've never eaten a flounder, they are top notch, one of the best around, man. What are you two doing? Drop it in. This is a garlic and green onion butter. There's some salt in here too, man. Oh, it smells so good, just already searing. You have to be careful here. This stove burns real hot, so we're gonna have to make sure we simmer it. Whew, I am stoked to eat some flounder right now, man. Like I said, it's been a long time since I have had some flounder, so I'm ready to dig in, and I love cooking, man, and the texture of it is just so good. Like, it's just flaky, but almost like dense in a sense, like a mouthfeel of chicken, and cooking in that herb butter was just absolutely the move. A little bit of tater action here. Man, how good is living, my friends? Go out in the morning, go for a wade, catch a nice flounder, bring it home, cook a beautiful lunch up, and just grub down. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, hey, and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. Whew, this is fun. Leave some comments down below if you enjoy the catch and cooks. I have really started to enjoy them, because the thing about it is that I love to cook, but for a long time I really wasn't into fish. And over the past year or so, I've really developed like the taste buds for eating fish, and I couldn't be more happy about it, because just another avenue to learn down and cook, and I've been really living it up. So I'm going to enjoy my meal of flounder, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day.